Yo, what is up, guys? So the new guided missile launcher is back, and I say new because it's been changed quite a bit. It was an item that was vaulted, but it's a rocket launcher that you control. It's apparently been nerfed, but watch what I'm doing here, okay? You can still weave in and out different ramps. We get the kill on that guy. But anyways, there's a small glitch. Watch, okay, I totally aimed up, but it just went right in front of me. That's a glitch that will hopefully be changed pretty soon. In fact, this gameplay was taken from the very first day, which is today, of the new guided missile launcher. But I wanted to make this video, give you guys some tips and tricks, talk about, you know, the new jetpack that is actually returned in the game as well. Although the jetpack hasn't been changed, at least via the patch notes, they didn't mention anything. But yeah, basically it's a rocket launcher that you control, but it's basically nerfed in almost every aspect. It's not really that OP like it used to be, especially in squads where someone would sit back in the back and they would just launch over and over. It wasn't the easiest thing to deal with because it did quite a bit of damage, and it was a little bit faster, it lasted longer. There's a lot of nerfs, but I kind of want to make this video again for some tips and tricks and just talk a little bit about my thoughts on the latest patch, aka 5.10. But anyways, first off, let's go ahead and go over some things. Oh, by the way, we just actually hit 1 million views on Twitch, so thank you guys for being there. But anyways, I want to mention a few tips with the new guided missile launcher here. So usually you want to sit further back and then you want to kind of box yourself in. You'll see over here I ended up placing a trap. That way if someone was to come in, they would get hit by the trap. But normally what people would do is they'd put a roof, open up a small little hole, and they would shoot the rocket out. Don't do that right now, because like I mentioned before, there is a small glitch where sometimes the rocket will go straight forward from where your character normally would have its projectile go forward rather than where your character is actually aiming, which you guys saw where I actually damaged myself with. So that was a small glitch. So maybe by the time you're watching this the next day, that will be actually fixed. I just wanted to mention that. Another thing I wanted to mention is how to self-rocket ride. This is probably one of the easier ways to do it. Just go ahead and build a door and open up the door and then stand on top of like the top of the door. It's so much easier to self-rocket ride. Try to make sure one of your foot is off so you don't actually hit the door itself. This is one of the easiest ways to rocket ride yourself, and you can actually press a button to detach yourself, and then therefore you can like actually, you know, use it as a gun. But I just get off of it real quick. I just wanted to make sure that still actually worked, because that was something that people used to do previously. Now I also wanted to mention that not only has the guided missile launcher returned, but in addition to that, jetpacks are back in the game for a limited time. This is in a very separate mode. It's one of the weekly modes that they do, like, you know how they do 50 versus 50 or like snipers only. It's one of those modes. So if you guys are competitive players, don't worry, it's not like back in the game, because I understand that it can be frustrating to fight someone that has a jetpack, because you could like outbuild them and they just hold like, you know, spacebar or like A button or X button and they just fly up, and then they're like, I have the high ground now, right? And even if they were to, let's say, like fall off, you'd be able to just use the jetpack, right? But anyways, it's a new mode. It's called Fly Explosives, which is the gameplay that you guys are seeing right here. So the jetpack is back. Again, it's only in this mode. We're just right there picking up the guided missile launcher, although we don't really use it. For this mode, I don't recommend the guided missile launcher at all. You're just going to be a free target, especially right now with the glitch where the rocket, especially if you're trying to build up like basically like a small 1x1 with like a hole at the top. Sometimes the rocket just goes straight forward and you'll hit yourself. It's just a glitch. But anyways, important thing with this new Fly Explosives mode. So it's basically a mode where they have, you know, only explosives. That's the point of this mode. But there's jetpacks too. It's kind of cool. I like it. It's just kind of for fun. But then I read this part. I'm like, well, I might play this mode a little bit more. Raise that KD, right? So anyways, it's a new only explosives weapon mode, which includes grenades, rocket launchers, grenade launchers, as well as the stickies. But yeah, it's kind of just more of a fun mode, but KD does count. Your stats do count for this, and it increased your rocket ammo to 120, and between storm wait times have been reduced, so it actually is kind of nice because it makes the game play a little bit faster. But then on top of that, fort loot spawners will occasionally spawn jetpacks. In this mode, I always recommend you guys, because we were talking about this last night, in fact, like what's the best thing to prioritize. The first thing that you want to go for in this game mode is actually a jetpack. Don't try to grab like other weapons. The jetpack is by far the most important thing, because you can just dodge rockets if you just fly up, and sometimes once the jetpacks are gone, especially in an area that doesn't have them, you can just lose out to someone having the jetpack. You're seeing right now I have 3 rocket launchers. That's probably one of the best things to actually have in this game mode, because, well, like grenade launchers, good luck actually trying to hit someone unless they're inside of a house or trying to loot or something. But at that point, if the player is good, they're just going to basically build a small ramp, and then they're just going to kind of open up in a separate area. But basically, it's rotating in between rocket launchers is what you're going to be doing. You're going to like swap to one rocket launcher, shoot, swap to another one, shoot, swap to another one, shoot. And it's just, you guys will see in this gameplay. In fact, this gameplay is pretty spicy. It's a 17 kill game. Yeah, the most important thing I wanted to mention is that KD does count for this mode. So that's actually pretty interesting because usually you would think that this mode would not count towards KD, but it does. So I'm going to play it a little bit more maybe. But you guys are seeing, again, I'm swapping in between all those rockets. That's how it's much easier to secure kills. Usually you'll have like maybe a med or two. And just as a heads up, the rockets do 110 damage minimum. You guys can see, that was my own teammate's rocket. I don't know, he decided to troll me over there. But basically, you want to get a jetpack ASAP. But yeah, profile stats do count, and there's just small little changes, like basically the storm wait times are a little bit faster, so it makes it a little bit faster. Anyways, the most important thing, which is kind of what I wanted to make this video on, but I also wanted to explain the new mode, because of course that's the gameplay that's playing in the background. So the guided missile returns, it comes in 2 versions, which is the weapon that is in 5.10. But anyways, it's available in Epic and Legendary, so that means purple and gold. The fuse duration has been reduced from 18 to 15 seconds. That's the duration of the rocket time actually going out, where you can move it around and stuff like that. So you have less time to do what you want to do with it. The movement speed has been decreased from 1,100 to 1,000, so basically like a 10% decrease over there. You guys can see that guy was trying to use like a guided missile on me. And in this mode, like the guided missile sucks, dude. Like you really don't want it. This other guy, dude. Like, dude, these players in this mode are so potato, man. Easiest kills, I swear, are in like these weekly modes. But anyways, the reload time has been increased to 2.4 and 2.2. Formerly, as far as I was aware, it was 2 and 2.2. So therefore, it's a flat across the board 0.2 seconds increase. Some of you guys might not care about that much. I don't really care about it that much, but sometimes that does matter at the end of the day. But the most important nerf to the guided missile launcher, and this isn't just for this mode, because the guided missile launcher is in the base version of this game. So that means all of the regular modes, solos, duos, squads, the rocket launcher that you can control is in all of those modes, okay? But the jetpack is not, so don't worry if you guys don't like the jetpack. But anyways, they actually reduced the damage from 105, which was the purple one, and 110, which is the gold one, from 74, which is actually quite low, to 77. So basically what this means is if someone is at 150 HP, you're going to need 3 rockets of the guided missile. The regular rocket still does the same amount of damage, which is 110 for minimum. But again, it's going to be 3 rockets in the other modes. But anyways, they also reduce the structure damage down from 1,100 to 400. That's a huge decrease, and because metal got buffed recently, it actually got an increase of 100 health. That's going to mean metal is going to be able to survive a shot. So that's kind of cool, I guess. But for me, that doesn't really matter too much. But the main like nerf is honestly the damage, because before you'd be able to shoot 2 missiles and kill somebody, but now it's minimum 3. Again, we're talking about people that have 200 HP. You know, obviously 100 shields, 100 HP. And also, it is technically slower, and there's no patch notes specifically for what I'm mentioning right now, which is actually the turn speed. Now, people say you can actually change this with the DPI on some people's mice. I'm sure you guys seen mice where there's a button to change the DPI on the fly. So if you really want to be able to have your rocket still be fast, like basically it turns slower, but even if you move the mouse fast, it still has that slow like radius, although theoretically, yeah, you could argue that because you're moving it faster, it would start turning faster. I guess you could make the argument. But I guess this is a tip. I want to say this tip is probably only for PC players, because console, I don't think you can change your analog sensitivity like on a one button press, right? But anyways, if you're shooting the rocket, you can just up your DPI, and then therefore you'd be able to kind of move faster. So that would be like a definite advantage by using like a mouse, using of course the new guided missile. But pretty much this is like the biggest nerf. Again, that's a small thing that you can technically do, but I figure I mention it because any helpful tip can help some people. But yeah, the reduced structure damage, we already went over that, but this is actually pretty interesting. Explosions now damage structures with no regard for line of sight. So what that means is it doesn't actually need to see the target to actually explode and do like the damage. And then also, this is just a small little, like, I guess, quality of life thing. It just makes it so guided missiles can also be controlled via keyboard by using the default movement input. So you can control it by using the regular movements. Whatever, it's not that big of a deal. But I figured I'd mention it just because you might accidentally hit the button and be like, why is my missile going this way, right? But yeah, like I said before, there is a glitch where it's just going to fire straight in front of you, which you guys saw earlier, and yeah, I shot myself. But anyways, also there's a small change with Slurp juices because there was 2 different glitches with Slurp juices. Right now it's fixed, it's perfectly fine. It has the update where it will heal you at up to 75, that can be health or shields. But before, what would happen is you were able to basically infinitely use the Slurp juice, so they patched it, and then when they actually patched it, the Slurp juice actually gave you absolutely nothing. You would pop the Slurp juice and nothing would happen. And then now it works perfectly fine, so that's just a heads up. The Slurp juice is now back in the game because they actually removed it due to the bug. But anyways, guys, those are all the patch notes in the latest Fortnite 5.10. So the guided missile's back, and also the Jetpack, I was about to say rocket jetpack. The jetpack is also back, but it's also just for that limited time mode. But make sure, again, you guys prioritize grabbing the jetpack over everything. And you can only carry 1 jetpack, by the way, because someone was asking me, like, why don't you pick up the other jetpack? You can only have 1. This is just, the jetpack hasn't changed at all with this. It's just back into the game as it was vaulted previously. But anyways, guys, that's it for the patch notes for the latest patch, as well as, giving you guys some gameplay of the new mode. But anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts on the guided missile. Do you guys think it's OP? Do you think it's not good enough? For me, I still think it's pretty decent. It's more of a fun tool that I would like to use to rocket ride myself in. And I'll get you guys spicy, stupid like endings where we rocket ride ourselves, we're going for the sniper. Those kind of things I like in the game. However, I don't really like it when someone's sitting super far back and they're just launching things over and over to just kind of like wreck your buildings. But anyways, we're kind of at the end of the video, but whatever. It's only a 17 kill game. I'll get a 20 kill game, so don't worry about the no victory royale here. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on the guided missile. Like I said, I think it's cool for the rocket riding, but other than that, I really don't have any plans to like run it. It's not very fun personally for me to sit back and just launch things over and over. I just wanted to get some like gameplay here for you guys. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the vid. If you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to always be updated on the latest Fortnite patch notes, and as well as just showing you guys some cool stuff and tips and tricks here in Fortnite, as well as other gaming content. And in fact, this week we got Black Ops 4 beta. But anyways, if you're not following me on Twitch, definitely follow me on Twitch. I'll leave it there in the pinned comment. And we'll be streaming some Black Ops 4 this week. And check out that Battle Royale mode later next month. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. And I'm signing out.